Ai.
Ad Astra Abyssosk.
A de Astra.
Recently, the Adventurers Guild has received an unusual commission, and after careful consideration, we believe that
Ai, chega, tá. Aham. Vou deixar
indeed,
automático.
as ever. I will spare the pleasantries then. May I ask if you two are available to help?
Pra isso que eu tô aqui, né?
Well,
Pra
let me go
ser...
over it briefly. Our client for this job is the Yashiro Commission. Apparently, Rift Hounds are attacking the roots of the sacred sakura nearby Mount Yogo in great numbers.
Rift Hounds? On Narukami Island?
Como que
Yes.
eles vieram pra cá?
We are not sure where exactly these creatures come from. The sacred sakura is of tremendous importance to Inazuma. I trust you are aware of this
Claro,
matter.
né?
Good. Then you can see that this case is very urgent indeed.
Is the Tenryu Commission aware?
Yes.
Ah, eu quero coçar o
And they
olho,
are
não
already
posso.
taking action of their own. Their main priority
O olho
is
não,
to
a
protect the
pálpebra.
civilian population. The Adventurers Guild is one of the key parties assisting the Tenryu Commission with their work.
Tá, eu
But
vou...
so far,
Vou sair com o
with
rabo
the
entre as
band, you have
pernas.
our deepest gratitude. I will mark on your map.
Nossa, os guardas não é capaz de... Tá bom, né? O povo daqui é preguiçoso, eu sempre esqueço. A minha voz tá mais alta que o jogo, tá tudo tranquilo aí pra vocês. Que com esse microfone aqui eu não sei de nada. Ixi, eu vou por aqui. Ou não, eu vou voar. Tararará. Ai. Dam, dam, dam. Ah, era melhor ter ido por baixo. Eu achei que era mais alto. É, como sempre, tomando decisões erradas, né? Nada de novo sob o sol. Mulher, quase que você morre. Ai, gata, eu tô com a Bárbara, olha só. Olha, mais vagabundos, é isso mesmo. Nossa, gente, quantos? Isso aí. É, gata, rainha do lar, carinho. Olha quem apareceu! É, gata, tá maior, apareceu aqui. É, agora eu gostei. Ai, que saudade dela.
Oh, it's you two.
Você saiu do plano de eu
It's been a long
temia.
time. We have not seen each other since the resolution of the Tenryu
Passada.
Commission crisis.
Verdade.
Okay, sounds more like A. It is you, right? You sure made short work of them. That was amazing.
Claro, né, mulher? O que te traz aqui, hein?
I'm making early preparations for what is to come.
E o
The
que
last
tá
time
por
we
vir?
took a walk around Inazuma together, I witnessed the way the world is today. I was finally able to comprehend some things that I had never
Eu vou
understood
abaixar
in the past.
o microfone pra fingir que ele
Every
funciona.
time I encounter an obstacle in my thinking, I find myself having the urge to spend some time in the outside world.
Makes sense. You must get super bored being stuck in there all the time.
Olha, tá saindo agora,
Might I
gente.
remind you that I
Passada.
am not here to amuse myself.
Tá bom.
Recently, I have observed a number of changes in the external world from the plane of Euthymia. The most serious of these being the attack on the sacred sakura. I considered this matter worthy of my attention, so I pursued them, and they led me here, where I happened to run into you.
Mais a comissão.
If the Shogun rather than I were to discover them, yes, perhaps she would have left the situation alone.
Why? Because she's just a puppet?
Precisely. According to the rules I designed for her, matters of this nature are to be delegated to the Tri-Commission. But Rift Hounds attacking the sacred Sakura... It brings back bad memories of that terrible disaster.
Qual desastre?
Yes. 500 years ago, a great catastrophe befell Inazuma.
500
Everything
anos.
was engulfed in a pitch-black fog, and monsters ravaged the land. Countless lives were lost, and this homeland that the people had worked so hard to build barely escaped being of the monsters committed many atrocities on Inazuman soil. And the Rift Hounds were always their advance guard. Their duty was to tear open a passage through space with their claws and teeth, and then call in even more powerful beasts.
Exatamente.
So you've heard of it too. That's an episode of history that I am loath to recall. Maybe to you,
Tô com
it
frio.
seems like my response to these creatures was an excessive one. But an excess of caution is not unwarranted in this case.
Guess you can't argue with that.
Since we are both here for the same reason, let us work together. From the traces they've left in the surrounding area, there should be many...
Bora lá, gato.
So safe when we're in Ace Company. Having someone uber powerful on your team kinda makes it... Oh yeah, after we've dealt with the monsters,
Ela acabou de falar que não quer lembrar e você vai perguntar, pai?
similar to the color when the sacred Sakura takes damage. Let's follow it. It should be this way.
É que só pra seguir? Ah, não dá pra apertar nada aqui. É só pra seguir. Ah, é só pra seguir mesmo. Eu não gosto de correr com a Yaka às vezes, viu?
We are lucky. The damage is not too serious. The Yashiro Commission will be able to nurse the root system back...
This stuff that's flowing out, is it sap or something? And how come it's glowing? Huh?
Ih,
What's this?
algo terrível.
Dead people? It wouldn't be the first, but why would they appear here?
Que eles morreram aqui, né? Provavelmente.
Let's search the area. Perhaps we will find out.
I can't go on like this. Not when the other troops are counting on me.
What happened here? Could you tell us?
Who are you? What are you doing here? Run quick while you still can. The monsters will be back. And once you're in their sights, I'm telling you there's no escaping them. We will defend Inazuma until our dying breath. You don't know? Inazuma is engulfed in darkness. Beasts and horrifying monsters are everywhere. They're merciless, ferocious, and they will devour everything in their path. Every last trace of humanity's existence, I tell you. They'll devour it all.
But look, none of that seems to be going on around here.
Not right now, but they'll be back. Look, get out of here. The almighty Shogun is gone. So is Kitsune Saigu. There is no one left to rely on, but I don't know how long we can hold out for. But if we abandon our hope, then...
Don't worry, I'm right here.
It's... the Shogun?
Lógico, é maior.
You're back. Please, we beg you. You have only the glow of your supreme lightning can dispel this terrible darkness. Please, or the whole of Inazuma...
Calm down. The war you speak of is over.
Over? But...
Look around you. The grass grows green and lush, and a soft breeze blows. This is Inazuma at peace, as you will no doubt remember. There are no monsters, nor is there anything else here that could threaten your life.
What? But how? Just moments ago, they were everywhere. I saw them tear my comrade to shreds with my own eyes.
Hey, calm down. Everything's fine.
Huh. I think I understand. All my... Yes, we were right to place our trust. Thank you, Your Excellency. Thank you, thank you.
Eles encontraram a paz, é?
He's gone.
Paimon can't even begin to understand what that was all about.
If I am not mistaken, what we just saw was a samurai's memory that was buried in the land.
Foi.
The sacred sakura can absorb and purify the filth in the ley lines. After the Rift Hounds attacked, some of this filth leaked out through the cracks in the trunk and formed a physical entity. An entity formed with strong filth would be highly aggressive. But when purified, it presents in the form of a purified filth quickly dissipates and will be absorbed by the ley lines shortly afterwards. In other words, it cannot exist for
So the memories of the ones that died are all appearing at this moment?
Yes. That soldier was one of the many thousands who made the ultimate sacrifice. What he was describing just now was precisely the disaster that happened in Inazuma 500 years ago.
Vou no banheiro, já volto. Voltei. Ele mencionou que a Shogun tava sumida.
Yes. Inazuma was facing many great crises at that time. Some were local in origin, while others came from the now fallen kingdom of Kanria. The disaster in Inazuma caused me great concern. I felt that I had to step in before it was too late, otherwise it would spread to all of Teyvat. But my friend, Kitsune Saiku, reassured me that I had nothing to worry about.
E ela se sacrificou, foi?
She would shoulder the responsibility of protecting
Passada.
Inazuma and mobilize
Foi a
all forces at
outra...
her
Antes
disposal
daí
to
é
combat the
Emiko,
threat.
né?
I could tell that, although neither of us acknowledged it, we both knew that the road ahead would likely end in tragedy.
So, Inazuma was attacked at the same time as when the disaster happened in Kanria?
Indeed. Countless monsters suddenly appeared throughout all of Inazuma. In the end, Kitsune Saigu sacrificed her life to protect the people. I never had the chance to see her one last time. But I would like to believe that she kept her... But even then, Inazuma was left more devastated than we could have ever imagined. Those terrible tragedies left great wounds that are still felt to this day.
Se a perda que ele me proporcionou.
For the longest time, I couldn't bring myself to face the pain of that loss. All my martial might was in vain. Though I could conquer Tatarigami and vanquish monsters, I was helpless against the ravages of time, powerless to keep the ones I cherished alive. But
Nossa, ela é tão calminha, né? Nem parece que era o diabo antes.
Now I realize I cannot fixate on the past forever.
Exatamente.
When I traveled around Inazuma with you, I caught a glimpse of how the nation has progressed over the centuries. A glimpse of human potential. Everything far exceeded my expectations. Moving forward inevitably invites further loss, but also new encounters. Just think of that soldier. Despite all the losses he had experienced, he still chose to keep fighting for the sake of moving forward. All those who sacrificed themselves back then gave their lives fighting for a future. But
com certeza,
perhaps the future they were hoping for, as Inazuma's god, it is high time I honored their wishes. Warriors of the past who spilled your blood on this land, your noble souls now rest in this earth. I will never forget you, and all that you did.
He's taking all this pretty hard.
Nada.
Come on.
Chega a Sakura Sagrada, só era aquela lá em cima. Achei que toda a Sakura que tinha aqui era Sakura Sagrada. Tá bom. Lobinho, lobinho.
Leave them to me.
Ué, eu tô jogando com ela? Por quê?
Illusion shattered. Now you shall perish. There is no escape.
Pra que eu subi aqui? Ai, que merda. Travou.
Huh? Something seems wrong with A.
Why would you ask that?
Well, usually you'd pull out your sword and swish! Vaporize.
You are unduly concerned. I'm simply conserving my energy. Although I have some understanding of the situation already, it could I must be prepared for anything. If there are more formidable monsters...
Ah, makes sense. Spoken the roots seem pretty badly damaged this time. We definitely need... Hey, the same light is leaking out again.
Mais fantástico. Agora é um velho. Ceguinho.
Furuyama?
Nossa, ela lembra do nome.
Almighty Shogun, what brings you back so soon? I thought you were off fighting a battle in a distant land.
Fighting a battle in a distant land?
Allow me to introduce Furuyama. He is, though blind, Furuyama is unparalleled in his ability to appraise tea. He brews some of the very finest tea in all of Inazuma.
Eu adoro chá, deu vontade agora.
Your Excellency, you shower me with praise undeserved. I have simply had the good fortune to be in your Excellency's presence. It sounds like the Almighty Shogun has brought a guest. I'm afraid I'm unable to serve you any respectable refreshments on account of the current situation. But please, sit and rest. After all, it's quite a mess up.
what should we do? Oh, yeah.
I see. So, they have fought their way. Most of the residents in this neighborhood have already escaped. They wanted to take me with them, but it seemed rather pointless to me. So,
Burro,
I decided
morreu,
to stay.
otário.
And now the almighty Shogun is here, I have even less reason to run away.
Tá morto.
Imagine if this was something
Velho
like the
vagabundo.
almighty Shogun. People
Teimoso,
flee out of a
mas
desire to live
gente
on.
idosa adora
I have
ser
the almighty
teimoso,
Shogun
né?
often speaks to me about her dream. Just listening to
Puta
her
merda.
stories. I've been blind for many years. One thing she always says is, good things don't last forever. Everything changes.
Isso não é nada que ela diria, mas tudo bem.
So you see, as bleak as things may be now, I have experienced.
Perhaps you
Ele
were
tá certo, mas não é uma coisa que você
It
diria.
won't be long now before I have to say goodbye to the almighty Shogun for the last time. But I suppose it doesn't matter. Everyone says that Inazuma has turned dark now. Once this catastrophe is over, life is sure to spring forth anew. But... oh, goodness me. Speaking of befuddled, look at me rambling away. The almighty Shogun comes to visit and I don't have the tea ready. One moment, I'll just... What? I hope the... Really? But it's always been right by my side. Goodness gracious. What
Ai, lá vem.
possibly have my...
Don't worry
Ah,
about
popular,
it. This
foda-se.
place is complicated. It's quite unlike the tea. Leave it to us.
But... well, okay. I never thought I can't decide whether...
Should we go to
Ai, meu Deus. É sério que eu vou ter que ir na casa da Yaka pra pegar um chá? Será que eu vou mover a pobre coitada, pelo menos? É mole?
I'm also feeling very nostalgic for his tea.
Ah, será que é o chá dele, né?
It's the Traveler. And the almighty Shogun.
É, gata.
How might I be of assistance, Your Excellency?
I wish to borrow a tea set from the Yashiro Commission.
Oh, sure. Please step into the courtyard and have a rest, almighty Shogun. Oh, and I'll inform my lord about your visit immediately. And...
Be at ease. I'm not here to see Commissioner Kamisato. Actually, I'd prefer to spend this time chatting with the Traveler. Please, fetch the tea set at your convenience.
No.
Queria ver a
I'm your
Yaka.
humble servant. I daren't think of my own convenience when the almighty Shogun graces me with her presence. I'll deal with it right away.
Well, it's not often we have the chance to chat. I'm sure you must have...
Right. Paimon wanted to ask that too. The almighty...
I seldom had the time to drink tea. Any free time I had was spent... So, in the vast majority of cases, the one he made tea for...
Ah, tá explicado. Era Bal de verdade.
Raiden Makoto. He may well have had an inkling about there being two Raiden Shoguns, but he always acted as if he was completely unaware of it.
Pô, eu tô com muito frio.
The philosophy of life that he shared with us just now, that was Makoto's view on reality. She always saw things that way.
E ela tava certa, né, amada?
You and Makoto had pretty different views.
Indeed we did. It was, in her eyes, the most precious things in this world were dreams. The yearning for a bet. They are similar, but not identical.
Não mesmo.
When you came charging into the plane of Euthymia, I saw human aspirations light up the sky far above in the
Ai,
form of countless stars. This somewhat shook me.
sério, gata? Eu não sabia dessa, não.
Now, it seems like she was right,
E ela tava certa.
while I took the wayward path.
Errou, gata, mas eu passo pano.
Wow. There sure was a lot going on beneath the surface.
Makoto saw a bigger picture than I did. In her view, A dream is more an ambition, is a yearning for something material or a concrete outcome. Makoto was more concerned with the force that drives humans to constantly generate.
É difícil de entender mesmo.
Makoto
Nossa,
wasn't
essa missão só
concerned
tem...
about
Ô,
outcomes.
YouTube, calma aí, tá? Tenha paciência, essa missão só tem conversa mesmo.
I didn't understand at the time.
E eu não vou pular não, viu? Vocês vão
How
assistir.
can we say that we are maintaining eternity when things are constantly moving forward and I suppose what it comes down to is the definition of... Yes, it does. But in the last analysis, Makoto's philosophy was, on the surface at least...
Do you feel you're starting to understand her better now?
You have already witnessed my previous views on eternity. But now, I no longer cling to what was lost. I suppose that means...
Almighty Shogun, I found a tea set. This one in particular should be fit for your excellency's use.
Mulher,
It's quite beautiful. Thank you.
é bem bonito.
You are too kind. A humble servant such as I does not deserve the gratitude.
It's all good, sir. She's actually pretty chill.
Let us return. We ought not keep Furuyama waiting too long.
É a Yaka, você tá aqui, mas não vimos você. Vamos voltar lá. I feel it coming on. No, 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 no. There's only you make it out alive. Oh, when yourself to dark. Ai, já teleportou. I'm gonna eat your heart. Don't try to fight it, just close your eyes. Que foi, Léo? Dam, 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 dam. Ih, mulher, não. Terminei não. Por quê? Sem spoiler.
Hey, where'd he go? He wouldn't have gone looking for a tea set himself, would he?
Não tenho certeza.
Or perhaps the ley lines did not have the power to sustain him.
So we won't get to drink his tea? We didn't
A gente foi lá à toa.
The
Ah, eu não acredito que a gente foi lá à toa.
information is complex and disorderly.
Ela achou que ia dar tempo mesmo? Que merda, viu? Vamos lá tomar o chá já.
This chance won't come often. I've watched Furuyama.
Eu tô com... Ah, eu também. Tô morrendo de fome. Eu tô com frio
Please give it a
também.
try.
Preciso
So
de um
many thoughts were racing
lençolzinho.
through
O
my
meu não
head
tá
as I was
aqui.
brewing it.
Merda.
I'm not sure how to explain it.
Não precisa, eu entendo.
You're right. But the things we've seen today have brought back many. I've been reminded of many people, too. Kitsune Saigu. Back at the Yashiro Commission, I kept the conversation reasonably lighthearted. The events of 500 years ago not only robbed...
Levaram uma
die in
cota.
that disaster too?
Morreu, gata.
Yes. She went
Ela foi pra
to
canharia
Konoha
sozinha.
without telling me.
Passada.
Unlike me, Makoto was no martyr.
Ela não sabia, ela foi, ela é burra.
Whenever similar crises had arisen in the past, I was always the one to face them in her stead.
Como que ela nunca treinou artes marciais?
The circumstances were so grave that Makoto had no choice but to leave me behind. Or perhaps it was more that she... Yes,
Makoto já tinha ido.
it was too late. I
Tadinhos.
arrived only in time
Tô
to
achando a
watch
história
her
dela
dying
parecida
breath.
com a da Ju.
She had already lapsed into unconsciousness by that point, so all I could do was enter into her mind. As far as you're concerned, it would be somewhere similar. It was there that we bid each other a final farewell.
Que triste.
I cried bitterly. Why did she go to Conria first, and not I? Why did she keep me in the dark about it? Was it to shield me? It was there and then that I resolved to pursue eternity. As a testament to that decision, I saved her realm of consciousness just before it collapsed completely, and brought it back to Inazuma.
That's quite a story.
When I returned to Inazuma, I was shocked to find that a great sakura tree had appeared on Mount Yogo. The tree that you know as the sacred sakura.
Nossa, apodreceu.
That's exactly what everyone back then told me as well. That it had existed since time immemorial. They were so matter-of-fact about it, and could no one questioned it. And yet, its presence contrasted so starkly with the area as I remembered it. In the end, I simply had to accept that with the help of the sacred Sakura's power, I was fine.
This is all really hard to understand. Kinda beyond.
Yes.
É, gata, vai uma burra pra caralho, hein?
She had such a great love for this land, and for its people.
Gente, a voz da Shogun dá sono, né?
And I once told myself that I would
Ela fala
never
tão
speak of
devagarzinho,
this again.
calmamente.
Facing the fact that she is gone is... But even the tea that is most bitter to the tongue, once swallowed, and it's time I came to terms with it all.
Isso aí, tem que enfrentar os fantasmas do passado, garoto. Bota o cropped.
Oh, while we're on the topic, since you experienced that battle in...
Brother? I had heard
É meu irmão gêmeo também,
You
sabia?
mean to say that he was somehow involved in the Conria?
Based on what we've learned so far, it seems so.
I'm sorry. I wasn't there for the whole thing.
O tempo todo cheguei, a pior parte da batalha tinha acabado.
The worst, and also, my mind was consumed entirely with the plight of So, I'm a...
Oh, boy. Both of you have experienced great...
With this last cup of tea, let us honor the team. Thank you, Destiny.
A gente não vai ter que levar de volta não, né?
Let's keep following the traces.
A Yaka que compre outra. Xícara de chá. Compre outra, Yaka. Você é rica. Burguesinha safada. Oxe, bugou totalmente. Lararara. Nossa, o que tá acontecendo com a câmera desse jogo? Homem ruim, vagabunda. Se liga, hein? E agora? What it is? Será que tá lá embaixo? Não é que não tá? Filha da puta, viu? Não, tá sim. Esquece. É reclamação. Gosto da trilha sonora daqui, é bem animada. Povo animado. Mais cães. Vamos lacrar com eles, né? E aí, vagabundos?
Once again.
Por que ela não deixa a gente lidar com eles?
Fear not. Fighting is what I do best.
Ai, minha cabeça tá coçando. Ah, gata, lute então. Eu quero ver se ela tá... Porra, quanto ataque que ela tá aqui. Ritual real. Ai, não. Estragaram, né, meu rolho? Botaram tanta coisa e botaram ritual real nela. Com uma pessoa aqui. A C3 aqui. Mona. Mona. A minha tá mais bem buildada que essa aqui. Miho é vagabunda, né? Nossa, eu não consegui ultar. Poxa, eu tô...
Are you alright?
Por que eu tô paralisado? Ih... Poxa, eu fico... Tá dando defeito, é? Não passa nada. Vou dar um frango pra ela. Tá entrando em colapso, assim. Não vai morrer não, Balsanado. Eu te proíbo. Meu, até sumir.
Maybe you should leave this one to us.
Não se esforce. Não morre.
My apologies.
Don't worry about it.
Que
Just take a
susto,
breather and get
Mona.
your strength back. We'll deal with them.
Ai, gente,
Look, that's the same light
tá me
again.
irritando tanta falação. E lá vamos nós de novo.
Where am I? Who are you? Almighty Shogun, you're here too. Are you injured, Your Excellency?
I'm quite...
We, the Shogunate Samurai, will defend the Shogun until the very end. Come on, man.
Don't!
Danger is our duty, ma'am. If we were the kinds...
No need to worry, Almighty Shogun. When the situation looks bleak,
Que eu quero chorar.
power grants
E eles são tão fiel a ela.
Is that a vision?
Ai, eu não vou chorar não.
It certainly is. I know the gods are omnipotent, and their willingness to grant their power to humans means they have high expectations for us. If the Almighty Shogun is in trouble, now of all times is the moment for us to...
So that's how samurai of that era understood visions, huh?
Cheio de esperança.
Nobody knew where Your Excellency had gone, and we were starting to despair. But now we've found it. Just the sight of you appearing before us once more has reignited the... This hope is the light that will guide...
Everyone, on me!
We'll help too.
Huh? Affirmative, but watch your backs.
Que bonitinho. Eles querem proteger. Ai, gente. Não tô enxergando nada, essa câmera é bugadíssima. Ainda bem que eu vim com a barbareza.
Let's dance.
Eu não posso chorar, eu tô com maquiagem.
It seems like their attacks are finally over.
I've never fought...
Thank you all.
Are you okay?
I'm fine.
You fought phenomenally. It was truly awe-inspiring. The monsters will definitely come back. And when they do, it'll be more... Quickly, escort Her Excellency back to Inazuma City, and regroup with the generals...
When everyone sees the Almighty Shogun safely returning,
Well, what are you guys gonna do?
We will stay here and guard against the monsters' advance. We are brothers in arms. As long as we stick together, we can face any number of monsters
Que
that come our way.
bonitinho. Para, não quero não. Que merda. Tadinho, não sabe nem que tá morto. Obrigada.
Leave it to us. Fighting is what we... But the almighty Shogun is the only one of us with the power to change the
Eles
no matter
confiam
what comes
totalmente na
that faces
Shogun.
Inazuma.
Ah.
Oh, thank you all very much. I promise you that I will create a bright future for Inazuma. I should not have left it this late to make this promise. But from this moment forth, know that I shall be true to my
Não,
word.
não, não, não.
Don't worry, Your Excellency. With you leading
Ai,
us,
gente, é muito
we will claim back
bonitinho.
everything that Inazuma has lost.
Glory to the Shogun. Glory to the Shogun.
They're gone.
Não vai ter uma lágrima, não pode, vai coisa básica.
It was both. The people's sacrifice has always caused me immense pain. But in dwelling on the tragedy, I overlooked their splendor.
Ai,
The
já tá
grief
caindo.
blinded me to how brightly they shone in their final moments. The result being that in the centuries since their sacrifice, I have dishonored their will.
Vou dar batidinhas, que aí não
You will
mancha a
take the
base.
view that whatever I say to them is
Eu acho, né?
meaningless, because they are but disembodied memories held in the ley lines. But even so, they are due a resolution.
Well, Paimon thinks that even if it's a few hundred years...
Thank you for your comforting words. But I used to think just like that samurai. That I was first, but what Inazuma needs more than a warrior. Even though I am utterly unlike Makoto, and can never become the person she was, I still need to do the... Yes, they are. They, as the Raiden Shogun they revere, I should...
Well said. Sounds to Paimon like you've...
Change will come to Inazuma, and with it, no matter how long it takes. Now that we've dealt with the Rift Hounds, this matter is halfway resolved. I will leave the Tenryo and Yashiro...
Alrighty then, let's move on. It looks calm on the outside, but Paimon bets she seems to have changed a lot since we last met her. Huh? What's wrong, eh?
Não.
What's going on? Are you feeling unwell again?
It looks like the situation...
Meu Deus.
No need.
A senhora chegou nada.
She is calling me.
Tá louca.
I need to go to the cave below the ground.
Why? What's in...
A battleground. One where I shall sever ties with the past.
Vai pra cá, eu tô aqui, já.
We're finally here. The...
What's this?
Whoa! Where'd that Torii gate come from?
It's... this
Mulher.
place I once sealed off with my own hands. It looks like she will no longer allow me to do with this.
Huh? What are you talking about? And who is she?
Marco. Gente, eu tô confuso.
Where are we
E a Lumene não dá um pio, né? Eu amo.
Whoa.
E lá vamos nós.
Look, it's another A!
We meet again, traveler.
Que?
This body is an assistant to the one within, but it is also the guardian of the rules. Should the one within wish to stray from the rules, this body shall stand in her
Que
way.
porra que tá acontecendo? Pera, gente. What the fuck?
Wait, Paimon knows that voice. Is that...
You have wandered the realm in my body, and you appear to have grasped the true essence of eternity. You believe your present self has greater certainty than your former self. Thus, you believe your present self is correct. But have you really been enlightened with new ideas? Or have you been degraded by irreversible erosion? I'm here to show you my answer. We are both warriors, and the dialogue we must now have...
Wait.
Um.
The atmosphere in here just took a turn for the...
The discomfort I was experiencing earlier was caused by the Shogun rejecting my continued use of her body. As she indicates, once I started entertaining the idea of change, it became hostile in her eyes.
My biggest enemy, já diria Lady Gaga em 911. My biggest enemy is me. Meu maior inimigo sou eu mesmo.
But inside a realm of consciousness, I exist independently. Though she is a puppet, the Shogun has her own consciousness too. When necessary, she appears here.
Que abusada, viu? Como que pode a marionete aqui confrontar? É culpa sua.
Paimon gets that everyone has their internal battles and stuff, but not like, hey, showdown with the Shogun? Never...
The rules I set for the Shogun are... No. The Shogun herself is the manifestation of my past ideals. The very foundations. I would not try to change her if it wasn't necessary.
Isn't there any other way? Can't you hack it through or something? But they both just want the...
My form is a symbol of supreme majesty, in which has been vested power over all the realm. It is the cohesive embodiment of all that constitutes, though it inherits A's pain. The pain of inevitable loss that comes as she... Every action undertaken is for the sake of resisting erosion. Determination, courage, love, hatred. All of these will be degraded and distorted by the incessant flow of time. Only...
Vem então, sua piranha. Vamos acabar com a sua raça.
Those were my thoughts when I created you. Now, they are towering obstacles that I have no... You wish to make yourself my enemy? I am your past, the everlasting law, the guardian of eternity.
Mas você é um boneco, filha. Se manque, piranha.
And I am she who promised a dream to her subjects.
Pisa nela.
Raiden A.
Raiden A. É.
In the end, even the proud and
Fudeu,
mighty
viu?
Oni maiden was
Ué,
cut
é
down.
Shogun versus Shogun mesmo?
Your blade has been cleansed of her blood and filth. Never shall it shine as brightly as...
Mas eu tô com espada. Que foda, a gente tá com... Não, a gente tá com lance.
There is no escape.
Que esquisito lutar com a gente mesmo. Fugiu, peidona? Por que ela tá com todos e eu não tô ainda?
Absurd! Illusion shattered. The eye sweeps the lands. Inazuma shines eternal. There is no escape.
Olha que rata do lixo.
Shine down. Pathetic. Inferior. Lightning falls on the land of eternity. There is no escape.
Minha... Eu não tenho stack aqui, né? Amei.
Once filled with skies fell to the ground as pitch black rain. As long as her ley lines flow,
Não posso
the
tacar ela, né?
revolution of time will never stop.
Amei que ela se curou inteira. Gostaram dos palavrões?
This world, a fleeting shadow. Weak,
Ah, não.
pathetic. Illusion shattered.
Vai,
Your
puta,
verdict
piranha.
is decided. Be gone! Insolent. This world, a fleeting shadow.
Ah, ela é muito rápida.
Illusions are but distractions.
Que isso? Encontrar a ilusão real. Ai, claro, com certeza. Com certeza.
Shattered.
Encontrei, foi?
Your verdict is decided. Pathetic, weak.
É abusada, né? Fica me chamando de
Now
fraca.
yearning, all returns to silence.
What the fuck? Não. Como que meus frangos tá indo tudo embora? Adorei. Toda vez que eu ouço essa piranha.
The divine lightning that envelops all of Inazuma will fade silently into the clouds.
Não posso atacar ele, né,
Be
piranha?
another
Vai.
for the rest of time.
Aqui eu não carrego nenhuma skin.
Transcending. Inferior.
Ah, eu tô toda. Ah, eu erro muito ult aqui, viu?
Pathetic.
Vem, piranha. Meus frangos. Ela nem aceita mais os frangos.
Inferior. The eyes
Inferior, ó. Mona.
weak.
Eu vou morrer.
Pathetic.
Gente, que boneco doente. Ela desviou de novo.
Fall from the land of eternity.
Ah, não, não gostei não. Eu achei muito.
Evasion is futile.
Ah,
Insolent.
não tenho escudo, não tenho cura. Pra me perder de propósito, é?
Inferior.
Ai, que. Ai, já não gostei dessa piranha, não. Muito vagabunda essa.
Euthymia.
Eu morri, foi?
Before.
Have you finally defeated her?
Não.
It appears your martial prowess has not dulled. But how long can your will remain strong?
Exatamente.
In this realm of consciousness, her existence is tenacious. She was built to resist erosion. Her will is stronger than any other living being's.
Eu vou. Ah, gata, eu vou barbarizar a cara dessa piranha. Vem aqui, 5 minutinhos comigo.
Maybe. But I have to prove to her that my present will is no product of erosion. The future I shall forge will be a grand... If I don't do this, the Shogun's rules can never change, and Inazuma can never move forward. This is my duty. No matter how long this battle may last, months, years, centuries.
Mulher, se durar séculos. É a mesma coisa que nada.
Humanity proved their strength in battle. Here in the present, they rely on their ambition to challenge wayward practices, tear them out like the... It is about time that I learn to trust them.
Mas será que você tolerará? Todos aqueles que não é esperança.
I understand that. But if the dreams of which Makoto I fight for the everlasting future of Inazuma. I vow to the subjects of Inazuma that I shall walk during my absence.
But this means that...
Pass on my words.
Ela quer se matar. Amei. Amei. Eu não vou deixar. Não aceito, passa nada. Pode voltar aqui, gata.
Looks like we got kicked out. Oh, what do we do?
Ah, eu vou a gente pra lá então.
She was
Ah, a gente vai
It's
entrar.
the only way to change the Shogun's rules, but still.
E não possamos confins, tem que ter da Shogun.
Right? Also, A can be pretty stubborn at times. What if she gets too obsessed with winning and she forgets
E vamos chamar a Emiko. Vem aqui, Emiko. Faça tudo.
Yeah, we should help her out, like we did
Você não faz nada, pai. Quem faz trabalho sujo sou eu.
to spend in there, or, you know, help her win the... Well, whatever. We can't let anything bad happen to A. Oh, but we also can't get it... Okay, well, first things first. We gotta find a way back in. Oh, come on, brain juice. Don't feel Paimon now. Okay. Oh, you're right.
Claro, né? Óbvio, a gente vai apelar pra Emiko. Vocês tinham alguma dúvida que não? Isso, olha que delícia, já teletransportou para lá direto. É isso que eu gosto, viu? E vem cá, gostosa. Olha lá, a maior do mundo.
Someone's not in the best of moods. Let me guess. You're all tangled up in another
Com
situation
certeza, mas você vai
needing to
ficar puta
unravel
quando eu
for
te
you.
contar, viu?
I hope you realize how lucky you are. If it was anyone else, I don't think
Tá
I'd have
bom,
the patience
ô
to keep
debochada,
greeting them with a
mamacita, Carol
smile
Conká.
after-
You're always smiling.
That was a figure of speech. Do you understand?
Abusada, vai tomar no cu.
Really big's happened.
Agora ela escuta e cala a boca e peça desculpas, viu?
Okay, I see. So, Ace decided to palm Inazuma off on the humans, while she, impossibly stubborn, jumps straight to the most extreme course of action imaginable, presumes her sheer will can see her through, despite a near you know as well as I do that she's always been like this. Why start fretting about it now? Rushed into it without thinking. Well put. Oh, she acts like such a child sometimes. So you seem to be under the impression that I am able to offer some sort of help?
Não, a gente só quer entrar lá.
Is she playing dumb? She's doing this on purpose, for sure.
Uh-huh. You're learning, little one. But really, the truth of the matter is that I don't know much more about Raiden Makoto's realm of consciousness than you do. All I know is that it's the foundation of the sacred Sakura, and from what I've heard...
Because Raiden Makoto is no one...
Not just because of that. The nature of the space itself is different in some way. But I can only speculate. You're the ones who have actually been there, so you tell me. What? Anyway, we needn't worry about the details too much. It'll just be a little... First things first. Follow me to the entrance.
Ela nem tá preocupada, né? Maria, que mulherzinha fria. Onde é? É no mesmo lugar, é? Eu acho que não é, mas vamos, né? É nóis, sim. Don't wanna be alone. Eu quero... Já tô aqui, né? Queria pegar esses cristal, mas não vai ser possível.
Now then, I always have my ways. It's just a question of how crafty I need. To the outsider, the realm of consciousness is a very abstract concept. Luckily, I'm A's familiar, so I can sense her rough whereabouts. In other words, even though I can't pinpoint the exact spatial location of this realm,
Noutras palavras. Meu Deus, que tradução é essa?
So, it's
A gente tá em que ano? 1500?
has a location, but you don't know where it is. But you...
yes, no need to try and understand it. Let me put this simply. Everything is turbulent and disordered. If you try to force your way in, you could be This is precisely why when entering the plane of Euthymia, it's much safer if you place your consciousness...
What? Alright, well, Paimon, stay here then. You two can go...
Suit yourself.
Claro,
Worst case
medrosa,
scenario,
criança.
all we stand to lose is A. So what's the big deal?
Nossa, olha como ela fala. Que mulherzinha, viu?
Oh.
Ah,
well,
tá,
if
tá,
you're
tá,
quite
esquece.
sure,
Ela
then
tava
of
certa.
course. Now, I shall... I say... Oh, nothing. It just seems extraordinary. By the way, remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes. Only a strong enough will can prevent you from being swallowed. Well then, the door is open.
hop on in. I'll stay outside and provide what stability I'm placing my god in your capable hands. For my sake and for Inazuma's, please. Bring her
Eu
back.
trago, gato. A gente não sai de lá sem ela.
You better know what you're doing.
Cala a boca, pai.
That's enough chatter.
Eu acho que é agora, viu?
Remember to focus constantly on your heartfelt wishes when you enter inside. Only if you are strong enough can I deliver you to the right destination.
Chegamos. Ah, nem falou nada. Ixi, lá vem. Ah, tá.
How can you have returned? But how were you able to get back in? And
Todos esses
you have
anos?
not changed at all in all these years.
Tá louca, porra.
This is a duel to remember. It is as if we have returned to the moment when the laws of eternity were first established. You over countless battles, not once have you lost, and never had I made all enemies of eternity stand against you. Used for your firm commitment to enforcing the rules, you bring honor to the title. Now these two return once more to this space. Then, let this be our final duel. The conclusion to that which began 500 years ago. Final duel? Stand back, traveler.
Gata, deixa a gente lutar com ela.
The start of something new.
Mulher, se você morrer, eu te quero na porrada.
The time our duels took to fight was
Ai.
long enough to witness the
Monas. Gata, eu só tô com um personagem. Que belíssima! É o dano de milhões, eu amo. Cadê? Dá pra ver? Ah, a gente tá com a mesma. C3 só. Ataque o quê? Gata, calma, calma. Quase que eu tomo um hit aqui, viu? Se manque, sua lixona. Amada. Ela só tá dando eletro. Eu amo. Eu não tenho ult aqui, né? Eita porra, o que é isso? Ah, tem que destruir, né?
This is... I believed you were incapable of transcending the past. But it seems my belief was based... But a will that cannot be eroded has... You need not worry about the future. And I know your power more than anyone else. Had I relied upon my strength alone, yet My reason for fighting redefined my martial prowess and redrew my limits. And whenever I think of this, I feel something stirring. The blade that I inherited from Makoto seems to be trying to guide me. I
Ela,
noticed it
gata.
also. Just now in the heat of battle, it seemed to unleash a new... This power is beyond the limits of my... This blade belonged to Makoto. Perhaps it can only respond to me with its
Ó,
own
amigo,
power.
adicionou legenda
I
agora, ó.
truly
Shogun
understand
anterior.
and believe in her. When I clasped Muso Ishin in my hands, it was at once a familiar feeling and a strange one. You have my approval. Your present will is not the product of erosion. I shall no longer stop you from attempting to modify the rules. From this day forth, this body will remain your assistant. I won't design any more rules that can never be changed. You used to represent my past, but from today onward, you are me. Makoto never saw me as a fearless weapon. Likewise, I should not regard you as a mere tool. You truly have changed. I suppose this is what humans call growth. I understand. I shall become your shadow, just as you were once Makoto's
Ó,
shadow.
que lindo ver as duas, né?
The duties I perform will not change. But as a warrior, I look forward to the chance to fight like this again. Do you say this because... It was simply a new experience for me. One that is worth reliving.
Have you finished fighting?
A gente vai ver a Makoto, será?
Hello, A. And greetings, those who have come to bear witness. I am Raiden Makoto, the previous Electro Archon, who failed in my duties and left you all to pick up the pieces.
Makoto?
I'm so happy. You've come so far. I always knew you would make it here in the end. I left a faint fragment of my will in Muso Ishin, so that in the moment that you unleashed its full power, I too would be released. A convoluted way to reach you, but... well, you held such deeply entrenched views at the time that you wouldn't have listened to a word I said. There was no time to wait for you to have a change of heart. Please forgive me. All I could do was find some way to wait until you came to me.
But... you never mentioned this to me.
Everything happened so suddenly. I'm sorry. I've always felt terrible for having to entrust Inazuma to you. I should have been the one to impart these ideas to you, a little at a time, to dissuade...
Did you know what was about to happen in Conria?
I had some sense of it. That place was not somewhere that any arc... In my present form, I can no longer perceive time. I don't know how long we have been separated before this reunion, but I know that this must have been an extremely arduous journey for you. And I'm...
Don't look down on me.
See? You admit it. It was with this possibility in mind that I left a parting gift for you. Here, take it. Before my last shred of consciousness
Que
fades away.
bonitinho.
But it is you who must take the most important step.
The light turned into a seed?
The miracle tree that blesses the people, in this moment new to the world and yet to be known. When to plant it, where it shall bloom. She who brings it into being must let her heart and dreams decide. Grant it life, eh?
Is it really? Eternity extends time into infinity. Dreams illuminate each moment within. When both shine in unison, the sacred Sakura blooms from the darkness, finally free from the clutches of the heavenly principles. Now the nightmare has dissipated, and reality is made whole. The vision we both yearn for is still further ahead. My only regret is that I cannot witness Inazuma's future, nor can I walk this journey with you. Do you know, I am so happy right now, because my final wish has now come true. Your polearm once protected me from countless calamities. For this, I've always felt indebted to you. Though I could never repay you in full, this sacred Sakura will buy you some time until you are ready to awaken and embrace the new. What do you think? Did it do the trick?
Oh.
This time, it really is goodbye.
Oi, Ti, tudo bom? Sumida. Ai, que lindo.
Goodbye, Makoto.
Oh. Queria mais. Continua, lógico que continua. A minha, eu não sei com que tiro veio. Não sei, né? A minha veio cedo, mas veio de Luke primeiro. De Luke C3.
Present planted the sacred Sakura in the realm of consciousness, and it took root in the Inazuma of the past. No matter what you make of it, it's quite incredible.
All of this is thanks to Makoto's power. Her understanding of eternity is much more... Eternity is a concept intimately connected with time. When you begin to...
A place where time is meaningless and cannot be understood with ordinary logic. Perhaps that is the reason why you were able to return precisely to this... And yet, that sense of disorderliness has now...
I don't fully understand yet. But my intuition tells me that the reason for everything...
Well, I'm not convinced that it was Makoto's power alone.
I know what you mean. Perhaps Makoto got a higher power involved in all of this.
Envolvido
But whatever the explanation, her solution is without the sacred Sakura. Inazuma would likely have been completely swallowed up.
I know you've always perceived there was something special about the sacred Sakura. But to me, it has always been there. You've tried in the past to prove to me that there's a connection between the sacred Sakura and Makoto's consciousness. But unfortunately, you never did
No. But I understand why now. It was because the sacred Sakura hadn't even been planted then.
But don't you think that tree looked a lot different than how it does now?
The sacred Sakura is within my purview at the shrine, so obviously I get to prune it exactly how I like it.
Olha que abusada, egoísta.
Now we see who's pulling the strings.
Isso aí, pai. Não pisa nela.
I'm joking. That tree has been through a lot since it first sprouted. We have the loving care of Kitsune over the ages to thank for how it... And obviously I played my part too. It's fair to say that very little time passed between the moment you came out of that realm and the moment you re-entered it. But in the Traveler, if I'm guessing correctly, you were repeating your wishes to yourself in your mind, weren't you? At that time, I could sense A's whereabouts, but I also sensed anomalies in the flow of... Suffice to say, time added a whole new dimension to our search, simply establishing... Fortunately,
Your will was strong enough that the turbulence carried you to the moment in time most likely to be the intersection. The flow of turbulence may well have been influenced
Ai,
by
chega de
Makoto,
falação.
but it took...
Does that mean it wasn't by chance that we ended up at the final duel? We were always meant to be there to witness what was going to happen?
Sério?
I thought that the flow of time was the same on the inside and the outside. So it was a great shock to me when the traveler reappeared. My first thought was, has a great disaster, but it turned out you had come to rescue me.
Então ela ficou anos lá, hein?
You too have my thanks. You...
Hey, how are you feeling now?
My body has fully recovered, and the Shogun's will no longer fights against me.
Always thrilled to hear you're in good health.
Peraí, já olhei o
That's
chat,
really
tá?
asking about your emotions. Have you managed? After all, you saw Makoto in there, didn't you?
I only heard her voice. I wouldn't say I saw her. I'll be fine. It brought a few things back, I have to say. This has reminded me once again just how brilliant Makoto was. She even factored my immaturity into her plan.
Gata. A gata tava à frente ao do seu tempo.
It's all thanks to
Quando
her
estava indo, ela
that
estava
Inazuma
com o bolo
lived to see
pronto.
this day. I just planted a seed.
Yeah, it was thanks to everything you did that you
O
got
ato
to hear
final
again.
pode ser
That's
simples.
amazing.
Ai.
Thank you.
Today, at long last, you and Inazuma find Makoto and you are Inazuma's past.
It's rare to hear such comforting words from you.
Oh, come on. You only think it's rare because you never used to listen to a word I say.
Provavelmente deve vir mais tarde com as gemas do abismo. Ah, sim. Se daqui um tiro, provavelmente você tira, né? Porque no 76, geralmente.
Exact same thing.
Great minds think alike, hmm? I wonder, does that qualify me to, maybe, take the position of Shogun for a couple of days?
Isso aí, mulher.
Actually, no. Forget that. Far more trouble than it's worth.
We will have to end the frivolities there. There is much... The Shogun and I will closely review the Inazuma of today to find out where things... After that, I will abolish the Sakoku decree.
Que decreto é esse?
Really?
I am no longer pursuing an eternity defined by stasis. In which case, I don't doubt that many challenges lie ahead for Inazuma. I'm
Isso.
looking forward to it.